I mean, it's a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of about time that we got our opportunity to share our stories and have the biggest moment ever watched be, documented throughout time. And I'm hoping for more and more seasons because the longer we can go, the more characters we can have, the more drama, the more people get to follow us, and it's endless amount of opportunities for us.
And what's ahead for your journey, just short term, and just providing more historic moments moving forward?
Right now, I'm gonna go get ready to race. I think this is probably gonna be to be honest, my last indoor meet. I don't really see a reason to keep going. There's a lot more track to be run later in the season, so I just wanted to make sure I came out here. I was able to put together a great start, a great acceleration, and a finish like Noah Lyles. So I'm ready to go even more later on in the season. So this is a great start.
The last few years you have gone through USA and even last year as well, the indoors. So why not this year? What's different?
World Championships is in September, and to be honest, I think there's a lot of things that I could fill my schedule up with later in the middle of the season. And by not going to indoor, which is all the way in China, which I'm not trying to take that long of a trip for, it saves me a lot of time to prepare for that moment.
Training-wise, what's been different since the Olympics for you?
I'd say that I've been really working on my mechanics. A lot of today was the proprioception of just me trying to get my foot and hip to work together to create a better and quicker start.
How do you feel about the time in your race in the final?
Time is time. I'm more comfortable with how the race went. Getting the win is number one always. After that is, how well did I execute it? How well did I go through the acceleration phase? How smooth did it feel? Did I feel like I had to stumble anywhere, which I didn't feel that? I'm very excited for that because now it just means, okay, I have the rhythm. I'm just gonna carry it through the rest of the year and just add more intensity, more speed, more power.
Noah, both your wins today, prelim and final, were both kind of signature wins. Starting out kind of middle of the pack and then top speed just carried you through to the end. What do you think that says? What does that tell you about your top speed heading into this year?
This year, it's always great to have top end speed. It's my gift, but I'm more focused on what my weaknesses are. How well and how good can I get my weaknesses to be and matching up to my biggest strengths.
Well, yesterday you talked a lot about transcending the sport. You had a grand entrance here today. Do you think we should make that more of a thing in track and field where athletes show up and like you do in the NFL where athletes show up in their game day suits?
Oh yeah. I've been this is our third year in a row bringing in the walk-in, so I'm very proud to see that it didn't die in the first year, and I'm glad to see more and more people doing it. I actually told the meet director we need to have a 60-meter belt, because instead of getting athletes to go to press conferences and saying, yeah, I'm just here to hit a rust buster, just shake out my legs, I don't really care about the time. All right, put a belt in front of it. Are you going to take the belt or are you not going to take the belt? And if you do take the belt, that means you have to come back next year, because that means you have to defend it. And if you don't show up next year, somebody else is going to grab it, which makes it even better story of, okay, we have 2016 or 2024 versus 2025 champions going up against each other. Only one person can hold it. So it creates a storyline that people can follow for years down the road instead of just, I'm just here to run my first race. I hope it goes well.
Isn't the belt kind of the world indoor title in a way?
No.
Why not?
Because nobody watches it.
So that's a good segue. You talked a lot about track and field relative to other sports. Obviously, events like this, Millrose, going up against basketball, the Super Bowl. Should track and field change its schedule to not be competing against other sports, or do we have to become competitive with other sports in terms of broadcasting?
No, we just got to do a better way of doing that. We just got to do a better job of showing that this is important. How are we we could compete with them. We just have to do some of the things that they're doing. We talk about the walk-in. The walk-ins lead to articles with athletes in GQ. Okay, now we're talking about marketing them outside of track. Now we have sprint. Okay, now that we have sprint, everybody's getting hopped up on the Olympics. All right, the Olympics happens. Where do you go to watch it? Full track. Shoot, there's a paywall. Shoot, there's more steps that I have to go to watch track and field. Well, this is boring. This is out of my control. I don't want to go do that. We just lost all those fans we gained with sprint. It's like, okay, we have to make this easier and everywhere for people to be able to go and grab it and get attached to it.
all of this is kind of like, all of this whole discussion is kind of showing, in addition to being one of the top athletes, if not the top athlete in the sport, you're also becoming one of the biggest voices for how to improve the sport. I mean, how does it feel to have both of those roles?
I mean, it's a contradictory type situation. On one hand, I'm in the sport and I have the biggest voice now. If I leave the sport, I could do more behind the scenes, but I'm not in the limelight anymore. So it's a very hard position at times. And then, you can't get your cake and eat it too sometimes. You're either changing the sport and changing something that people love and they hate you, or you're just going along with everybody and they love you just for going along with the flow. It has its ups and downs for sure.
What was it like being introduced as the Olympic champion, have them play your race before the prelims?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it every time. I was just, it was funny. This is probably the corniest joke I ever came up with. Me and Julie and Alfred got in the elevator at the same time, and then she got off, and I was like, shoot, that was the world's fastest elevator.
And do you have a message for Tyreek Hill?
See me on the track.
On a side note, a bunch of things over